This is the safest it's been to stream in a week. And look what just went by. 4 semis, but I have a nice shoulder here, so it's today's a nice day. Figured I'd get a stream in today because it's supposed to rain again tomorrow. I got soaked yesterday, and this is really the best shoulder I've had to ride on in several days. If you look to the left here just slightly, you see these grooves in the road. Kind of a barrier between the highway and the shoulder. And there's no chip seal on this shoulder, so pretty safe. Maybe hard to hear. I've got a headwind today. I've been out riding about 3 hours on my way up to Kirbyville, Texas. This is the last full day in Texas. Tomorrow, hopefully, Kirbyville to DeRidder, which crosses into Louisiana. DeRidder's in Louisiana, so last full day in Texas today. As they say, it's a large, large state, very large. And even though I made the safety decision to skip West Texas, it's still, I've been riding 9 straight days in Texas, and tomorrow will be 10 straight days and then a rest day. So I'm definitely feeling it today. I'm definitely feeling the chronic fatigue for riding 9 straight days without a rest day. Did about 100 miles this weekend. Friday night, there, if you hadn't caught up, I did a catch-up video or a recap video. I invite you to go check that out. It gives you the kind of the halfway point recap. But Friday night was a controlled burn. There was forest management in the area I was camping. So I got to wake up smelling like a forest fire. And then yesterday, it rained. So I like to say I got smoked Friday and Saturday, and I got soaked yesterday. Turns out tomorrow it's supposed to rain again. So I'm enjoying the sunshine today, even though I've got a headwind, it's still dry. I'll have to break out the rain gear, and we won't plan on streaming tomorrow due to the rain. But today, figured I'd break out the gear and let you see the pretty skies and US Highway 96. Started this morning. I actually waited a little bit because it was 40 degrees in Kuntz, Texas, where I started. So it was a chilly morning, so I waited for it to warm up a little bit. And now I'm out on my way to Kirbyville, Texas. US Highway 96. So that's the intro there. I'm joined today again by John. I forgot to ask John, I know we're over 21,000. What's the number? Wow. We're at $21,531. That's a win for veterans. Thank you all for your generosity. It absolutely means the world to us, and thank you for participating in this journey for Wounded Warrior Project. We're kind of in that part of the country where the bike route doesn't really take you close. I mean, we're kind of way outside of Houston, so didn't really have any media interest for Houston because I was way north, and Beaumont's kind of way north of that. So probably the next opportunity for media is going to be in the Pensacola area, I would imagine, but we'll see. We'll keep that going. Hey Rich, good to see you on there. Smoked and soaked. Tomorrow's soaked again. But at least we're not being smoked today. At least not literally. Figuratively, I feel rather smoked, but that's just part of the process. So yeah, that's part of the business here. We're riding to raise awareness for veterans affected by COVID-19. I can just tell you that I've been riding through a region which really relies heavily on oil and gas, and for a variety of reasons, that industry is really taking a hit even now. Met some people over the weekend, as I mentioned on the recap video. They family there, veterans affected by just a myriad of things in this region with industry and the impact to them. Our heart goes out to them and what they're trying to do. Just a lot of hard-working folks in this region, Texas, all along the southern tier, just salt of the earth people, have the privilege of meeting. So you're going to hear the wind because I'm into a steady wind and not really making substantial forward progress just because the wind slows me down, but thought I'd give a chance to chat with you all today. John, last time we chatted, we kind of got cut off. You were going to ask some questions, and while we're waiting for our very quiet group to join in today, maybe you could get us started. Yep, so John's question was, how long was I in the military and how long did it take to make colonel? So I was in the military 26 years, and I was mentioning that in order to retire at the rank that you're able to achieve, you have to spend at least 3 years at that rank. So it took me 23 years to make colonel. Now you get selected for a rank based on a board. The board meets, they select you, but then it has to go to Congress. The Senate has to approve it. And then based on, there's a budget. The National Defense Authorization Act actually authorizes the funding for the number of, we call them billets, but it's really seats of authorizations. And so you kind of have to, it's a wait your turn. So I think I waited a year to get promoted to full colonel. So you get selected and then you just kind of sit and wait until your number comes up. Okay. What is that, John? Kirbyville is what? Kirbyville, Texas? For me, no, I've got like 15 miles to go. I know Peter's probably trying to make a joke, but it's lost on me. He's gonna have to explain it. Oh yeah, kolaches. I had one yesterday. Yep, I'm glad he asked. I had a kolache, so WD Sapper had a kolache yesterday. It was raining Sunday morning. I saw one, I'm like, gotta have it. So the question is about the tubes and the tires. So it's a good question. So put the slime in and this was part of my on-the-job PhD that I got at the bike shop. about slime and the centrifugal force and how it helps seal the punctures. We had a debate because I was riding gator skins, and the gator skins on normal tubes caused all the flats. And I talked with the bike shop, and he convinced me to go with a specialized product, armadillos. He was telling me that the armadillos actually had the original proprietary intellectual property, and that gator skin, which is a Continental product, is kind of a copycat. Anyway, that was his explanation. So I'll take it. So far, so good on the armadillos. The specialized armadillos have been rock solid so far. Any close calls on my ride so far? You know, I guess it would depend on how you define close call. I'm assuming like being hit. I haven't, hasn't really been that close, but it's been, I had the rear view mirror, so I kind of see it coming. And there's a couple I saw coming and took a couple of evasive maneuvers, and so it's really a non-event, but you just have to stay alert out here. There's, I have to tell you, the Texas population, by and large, has been very respectful. They see cyclists and they give you way, and it's just, they've been pretty respectful. But, as you see on a main road like this, I mean, when their speed limit's 70, 75, and it's truck traffic, I got a wide shoulder, but still, it creates a lot of breeze when they go by. Charles Stone. All right, Charles. Whew. Great. The new Buc-ee's in St. John's is what, John? Oh, okay, the new Buc-ee's in St. John's has kolaches. Well, I gotta tell you, I've seen Buc-ee's out here in Texas. Because it's a big deal. Big deal out here in Texas, have Buc-ee's. So John's asking a question, what promotion was like the biggest impact or had the biggest change? That's an interesting way to ask that. I guess I haven't really thought about it all that much. I think each one is, they call it leader development in the military. They leader develop you. They do a good job of preparing you. I think Colonel was one of those positions that kind of really exposes you to how the business of the military works, and I always felt like it exposed you to meetings that perhaps you wouldn't have been able to go to earlier in your career. But I just kind of think each one has its unique set of challenges and opportunities. And I tell you, I got some news yesterday that was really really sad. I get, you think of the number 22. The number 22 represents the number of veterans who commit suicide every day. And I got some news yesterday that a former colleague, when I'd served on active duty, a full colonel actually, had passed away on Saturday, and the initial report is it appears to be suicide. And so just really sad. I knew him really well, served together in DC, and just really stops you to think about how the behavioral health impact has affected everyone. And, I guess we'll never know what the real behavioral impacts were in his life, but we all have them. I can tell you firsthand, seeing, riding across the U.S. and talking to people, that COVID-19 has had a tremendous impact on the behavioral health landscape across America. I think people fear the virus, and obviously that's the immediate threat, but in the military we call it the second and third order threat. And really, I don't even think we're beginning to see the wave yet. I'll call it a tsunami that's going to hit us of behavioral health impacts on our population due to COVID-19. So really sad news I got yesterday. Skips? Oh yeah, thank you, Skips. Yep. Thanks for the prayer. I have your chat screen open. I just because it's so bright today, I've got a pretty strong glare, so John's reading me the chats. So John, what was another question? Sputnik, glad you could join, and yep, East Texas has signs of spring for sure. For those on social media, I posted the blue bonnets, which are a signature feature of East Texas this time of year. Oh yeah, John's asking me again about promotions, and yeah, this is just another inconsequential fact about me, but all my promotions, except the first lieutenant, were overseas. I had to walk that back because I remembered I got promoted to first lieutenant in San Antonio, but I guess Texas is kind of its own country, so maybe that was an overseas promotion. But captain in Korea, major in Honduras, lieutenant colonel in Iraq, and colonel in Germany. So it's kind of cool. It was fun. Have those. And Sapper knows I stole his idea. He and I were the same year group, and he got promoted, and I stole his idea for a promotion party. We had, he had his about a month or so, a couple months before mine, and had the promotion party at a castle monastery on the, I think it was the Neckar River, there in Heidelberg. Good times. Starch zone what? Oh, okay, the sun protection. Yeah, it's from a sun protection perspective, particularly across the desert, I wore a sun brim around my helmet just to kind of keep the sun off my neck and ears. Been a little lazy about that here because of the winds. The winds kind of make it aggravating, but just standard sunblock, 50. So always try to stay protected, and because you can get really behind on hydration if you get sunburned for sure. You know, they say it's mostly flat. I go to Google Earth every night and kind of look at the terrain profile, and I must have missed this one. I've been climbing for a while. Just subtle, you don't see it. It's not the steep climbs of the hill country, just the slow, steady. You feel it. Yeah, on the stream, I'm sure it looks flat. Yep, and it wasn't. I'm looking in my rear view mirror. It was probably a quarter of a mile of a little bit of a ramp, but I'm looking ahead, and I see the crest. It's up there. Not at all like the hill country was just a relentless series of ups and downs. Of course, I was reminded by Headquarters 6 at home that, oh yes, of course, you're riding on the Edwards Plateau. Of course it's hilly. Oh yes, of course, I knew that. No, that's where the route goes, and if I had gone a little bit further south, it may have been a little bit flatter, but the Southern Tier bike route takes you, as they say, the most scenic part of the U.S. Y'all remember it last week, I was in that park. You remember those steep climbs. So Cheryl's asking about weather. Yeah, I mentioned it at the top of the call here that tomorrow it's supposed to rain again, and the forecast has it right in the middle of the day while I'll be riding. So, but that will be day 10 of 10, and that's Tuesday, and that means Wednesday's a rest day. So I'm looking forward to a rest day. So I'm on day 9 of 10 straight now. Been riding every day since Amtrak landed in Austin. I took off Sunday a week ago and rode to the east side of Austin, and then every day since. Tractor. Hello, hello. First Coast Knitters, the sympathy booth is always closed with First Coast Knitters. The only one on this planet that I know who can go from couch to peak fitness in 5 days. Takes me 2 months to get in shape, and if she were out here, she'd have been in shape 3 weeks ago. Yep, thanks for the encouragement. I guess that Fragster's Howard. Howard's watching, that's good. This kind of looks like, for the St. Augustine crew, kind of looks like Route 1 before they screwed it all up with all the development between St. Augustine and Jacksonville. That's kind of how I look at the picture of it here. But pine trees and live oaks. Billy's asking the state, still in Texas, East Texas. And this is the last full day in Texas. Hope to cross the state line, Texas, Louisiana tomorrow at Maryville. And then have some really good friends. We served together. In the 90s, we served together. And then kind of passed it around each other back and forth in terms of, we were in different units, but we met up with each other in Iraq. And so he and his wife were going to host me Tuesday night and Wednesday night. So it'll be really great. He's another retired medical service corps officer who works at Fort Polk as a contract coach for units that go there for battle training. So he still has great impact and helps the readiness of our units and forces. Drake Batchelder. Yeah, Drake. Drake, no problem on the donation. Those buttons can be confusing. I just got it. Look, John, you need to know this. I won't report Drake's actual age, but I think he's like late 70s. Hint, hint. And he's on Twitch. So, I mean, that's an impactful step. So happy to have Drake. Still there, John? Sorry, thought I missed you. Thought I lost you there for a second. I get about 40 minutes of streaming in here. I got probably, let's say 10 miles to go to get to Kirbyville. It's a real, I joke, this is almost like Army aviation. I used to say about the people like, oh, it must be awesome to fly a helicopter. I think the flying part's okay, but it's all the other stuff you got to do. Like, 3 or 4 hours of planning for every flight hour that you fly. And it's kind of like this here. I get to the hotel each night. It seems like I'm spending 2 or 3 hours planning the next day, trying to figure out where water stops are going to be and hotel stops. And you don't want to get too far ahead on the hotel schedule because then you get stuck because you have to cancel within 24 hours, and if you don't, you get charged. And so It's a real dance each night. I feel like a travel agent, a bike mechanic, a map planner, a laundry specialist, and a grocery shopper. Oh, and I also ride a bike. So the question is, have I seen any bluebonnets? You know, I think I'm seeing remnants of them. Yeah, I mean, they may be in the screen or kind of in the median. They were really prominent a few days ago when I was going through the Round Top Antiques Festival. There's a few remnants out there in the median, and I'm looking here on the right, there's a few remnants, but nothing like I saw last week. They are definitely a signature feature this time of year of East Texas. But maybe because we're so close to Louisiana that I don't see as many. Who knows? Awesome warrior. Well, I don't know about that, Shirley, but thanks for the encouragement. I was feeling pretty tired this morning. I was hoping I'd wake up and when I checked out they would hand me my airplane ticket back, but that didn't happen. Got a sign up here. I think that might tell us how much we've got left to Kirbyville. I'll give everyone a job. When they see the sign, they have to shout it out in chat. Definitely seeing the flags going the other way, which is a sure sign I'm in a headwind here. What's that, John? What's that? Oh no! It's been headwind the whole time. Yeah. No, that sign doesn't give me the. I've noticed that Texas does a good job of, normally these green signs I'm used to seeing like tell you the next town and with the mileage, and in Texas here it's a left and right with which county road is coming up on the turn. So it's interesting how each state, even each county, has its own way of doing signage. I smell a horse farm. Howard, thanks for the donation. And did it fly across the screen? Howard, we apologize for John. He's still trying to fix the animation. But thanks for your donation nonetheless. right, you have to ask questions or I'm going to be quiet on you. Looks like we have some hay art. What's that? Yeah. Rent a horse for a pull, that's what I need. If y'all haven't seen it yet, I think it was it on HBO or, oh no, I have no idea, I don't remember. One of those subscription services, maybe it was Netflix. Last winter, it was the Eco Challenge race. And for those of you who don't know, are not familiar with Eco Challenge, it's like a team race, and they do all of these crazy things. They have to cover, obviously, a lot of terrain, and it involves hiking, biking, kayaking, rope climbing, bridge crossings, I mean, you name it, swimming, and it was, I'll never forget, that's this one part, they were allowed to hire a Sherpa, and this was in Fiji, and I remember the Sherpa, and I think it was the donkeys that, you know, carried their equipment for, I don't know, 10 miles or something, but they literally, they get 1 hour of sleep a night for like 10 days. And it's a crazy mess. So every time I think I'm having a bad day, I think about that race, and thankful I'm not doing that. But it's worth watching if you get a chance. It's an exciting race. A lot of human interest stories in that race too. Yeah, if there's anything I do different, that's a good question. Next time, what would I do different? First thing I would do, and I thought I did it, but subconsciously I didn't do it, is I would lay everything on the floor, and I did lay everything on the floor, but this time I'd lay everything on the floor, and I'd make a hard decision about whether that piece was essential or not essential. There's no like, maybe I'll need it, or I better bring it because it's got to be essential. Because everything out here is weight, and it's weight that you have to carry. And you know, I sent things home in two waves, a wave of 5 pounds and a wave of 13 pounds, so I'm 18 pounds lighter. And that made a huge difference. I really like the idea of live streaming, but if we're being honest, and I knew this, and I've owned this, but it's the streaming equipment is the heaviest. So I'm not sure I would carry the streaming equipment again. I'd figure a different way, maybe figure out, you know, go in a group and figure out a different way to distribute the load. Because if I didn't have the streaming equipment, I mean, I'd probably be even 15 pounds lighter, and then that would be, you know, just pretty easy at that point. But that's the big thing, just deciding. And that's kind of a metaphor for life, right? It's like, you know, we as Americans especially, we collect a lot of stuff. And we do a lot of stuff, and we go a lot of places, and we see a lot of things, but what is really essential in your life. I've learned to live on 3.7 cubic feet, and it's not so bad. Kind of question, do we really need all the stuff, all the materials that we collect? Not a sermon, just a question. So the question on Sputnik, does the ground look flat? Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. I mean, it's East Texas is finally relinquished the hill country, which is one reason why I'm streaming today, because the last several days were very hilly and I didn't have much of a shoulder at all. And the shoulder I did have was debris and chip seal. So it's getting a lot flatter now as I move towards Louisiana. Tomorrow has a climb, not a big one, but so you kind of think about it. There's a couple ways you can go. You can go towards New Orleans, or you can go up towards central Louisiana, which is where I'm going. And so there's a little bit of terrain up that way. Not a lot. I don't think I get over 200 feet. That's nothing like I was before at 4,000 feet. 5,000 feet out west. So yeah, this is the Army of Aviation. We used to call this a field grade officer weather day. It's clear blue and 22 miles visibility. I need an expert to tell me what these flowers are on the left. I'm going to say they're azaleas, but I don't know if they're azaleas or bougainvillea. I'm not an expert. The big pink ones up in the distance. Across the road. Could be azaleas, big ones. I don't know though. Let's see. Howard also saying about the night flying with the full moon. Yep, that's field grade goggle weather, night vision goggle weather. Probably azaleas. I knew First Coast knitters would know. Yep. It's azalea season. There's some remnants of bluebonnets on the right here. Just they're kind of seen their better day. All right. Howard, take care. Go for a run. Take care of that shoulder or something. I think you injured. We're going to run it through an hour today, folks, just so we get the Twitch credit for an hour. That really helps bump the algorithm. So while we're waiting for the hour, we'll do a little recap. So we started in Coots, Texas this morning, en route to Kirbyville. It's a 40-mile day. Finish up in Kirbyville. This is the last full day in Texas. Tomorrow we plan to cross over into Louisiana, and then a rest day Wednesday. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I probably won't stream tomorrow. I just don't want to be packing up equipment, because I have all the cabling on the bike right now, and if it's forecasted rain, I usually pack it up before I start riding, so I don't have to put anything away in the rain. And it's supposed to rain solid midday while I'm riding, so John, tell me the number again that we've received in donations for Winter Warrior Project. It's 21.5 something. I don't think I lost. Did I lose you, John? You may have had to take another. Okay. 21,650. So thanks to Howard and all of you who've donated 21,650, and so really appreciate you participating in this journey. I think after today, I am under 1,000 miles to go. I'll have to double check that when I get to Kirbyville, but I think I'm under 1,900 and some when I get to Kirbyville. So we're definitely making progress. And as I said, I probably won't stream tomorrow, and then Wednesday's a rest day. I'm trying to coordinate Wednesday to go to Fort Polk, potentially, Louisiana, and connect with some active duty folks there at Fort Polk to talk to them and do some more podcasting. So I host a podcast, so we'll see how that goes. I'm supposed to find out later today. But Wednesday's definitely a rest day, and then we pick it up Thursday, continuing again eastbound from Louisiana. Once I get to Louisiana border, then it's quick. It's Mississippi and Alabama go pretty quick, and then Florida's long again. You have to go all the way across the Panhandle. So, all right, John, I think we're just about there. Sorry, John, a car passed as you were asking that question. Does it feel wet? Yeah, John's asking the natural question. Does it feel like I'm hitting the home stretch when you cross fewer than 1,000 miles to go? I'll say this. As I used to say in racing, it's like you have a lot of highs and lows. But one of the things in racing, especially Ironman racing, is it's so many things can go wrong. And it's not being a pessimist. It's just you want to stay optimistic out here, 100% for sure. But what I find in experience is if I start thinking about the finish line, I lose focus on the present and the moment. And so I definitely feel like the hard miles of the mountains are behind me, but each region has its own set of challenges, and so I just kind of embrace those challenges and embrace the moment, try to enjoy it all the way through to the finish line. But yeah, it definitely feels like we're making progress now. There are a few days in New Mexico I didn't feel like I was making any progress, I'll put it that way. All right, Sapper, we're staying safe. We hit the hour. We'll catch you all later. I'll let you all know when we're going to stream again, but thanks for joining today for sure.